everyone. Welcome to the CPCA Backstage Pass podcast. My name is Sarah. Again, you're probably wondering, where's Ben? Well, you'll have to watch to find out, I guess. So here we are today. I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Maggie, who's one of our CPCA peer advisors. How you doing today, Maggie?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Sarah.
Amazing. We love to hear that. All right. And we have a very special guest today. Today's guest is a senior theater major in the acting concentration. She was most recently seen in the Temple Theater's acting concentration reading of Julius Caesar and will be in the upcoming production of Chance the Snapper. She is also currently in the Acting 5 class and preparing for their showcase. We are so excited to welcome Cecelia Jaskel on the show today. How you doing, Cece?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
All right. So I guess we'll get the ball rolling here. So usually we like to ask every theater major this question. And the question is, what is your favorite Temple show that you've attended virtually or in person?
Attended. I loved Men on Boats. I thought that was such a great production and seeing all those women on that stage, and that was one of the last shows I saw in person, at Temple, and it was really, really good. But I want to say probably my favorite show that I've been in at Temple is probably Chance the Snapper. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to see that show. And yeah, Men on Boats was amazing. I got to I wasn't like an ASM, but I got to shadow for stage managing class, and it was so cool to like watch the behind the scenes and then like the actual show. That show was just crazy and so fun and cool. So good. Next, we always like to ask, what's your favorite show that you've seen in Philly?
Ooh, I want to say Kill Move Paradise at Roma.
I agree.
I thought
yes.
It was such a powerful and strong show, and the set design was so cool, something I've never seen before. But I like a lot of shows that I see at the Wilma. The Wilma has some really, really good work that they put out there in the world. So yeah, probably Kill Move Paradise for sure.
Such a good one. I think, Maggie, did we go see that together for?
I think that's the first Philadelphia show I ever saw, because
me too.
Peter Schmitz's class.
Mm-hmm. No way. Okay, so you're talking about that. Good.
Oh, absolutely.
That was our first show.
Yeah, I miss back when I was a freshman and sophomore. I was really lucky because I feel bad for the freshmen now, but I saw 30 shows my freshman year, even sophomore year when I was in London. We saw 36 productions. I just missed live theater so much. Just something like it. And there's nothing better than student tickets or free.
Yes.
That we would get for class. It's so nice. So nice.
Gosh. That was always the best homework, was having to go see a show. I was like, how is this homework? What? And and sometimes I would drag my roommates with me. I'd be like, come on, you gotta go see the show with me. And it was always so fun. Oh, I miss the memories. All right. My next question for you is, where is your go-to rehearsal spot? It could be on campus, off campus, wherever you prefer to go.
Ooh, I really love the fishbowl. Is that even what they call it? In the bottom of Thompson. I love it there. I mean, recently my rehearsal spot, my recording spot, everything has been, where is it? In my room. You see that white wall?
I remember that white wall from last semester.
Yes, that's wall. The magic happens, which is cool. I mean, it's definitely been a really weird transition, doing Zoom theater, because it's more like TV and film than it is theater. So it's trying to get used to that, because theater classes were taught you to be big and live in the moment, and you better be performing so that your little old grandma in the back row can know your choices and know what you're saying. Versus here, it's kind of, you have to bring everything kind of down and make it smaller and more simplistic for acting for the camera, it's good practice though, for both mediums, for sure.
Very true. And I found that especially with classes, they have us self-tape a lot, and it's just been so helpful for outside auditions, because sometimes I'll just use that self-tape I used for class, or it's just a great way to practice those techniques, because it's so challenging to like just transition into having to tape yourself. I remember I got my little stand and I was like, I don't even know how to set this up. It took me like an hour.
Yeah, luckily they gave us ring lights and stuff. So usually I'm like well lit. But it's so different because, you know, when you do theater, you do it once and you're like, well, that was that. I think it was good. I have no clue. Versus like a self-tape, you're watching yourself. You're like, I don't like how I did that. I looked at the camera at that thing. My voice sounds so annoying at that
It's the absolute worst. I'm like, oh,
I do not want to perceive myself anymore. I'm so tired of it. And it's a whole career, baby. That's the thing that I've been realizing. It's like, oh, like this doesn't stop. Well, made that choice.
I know. I just need to, I was talking to someone and they set like a rule for themselves where they only do like 3 takes and then they stop, they break down everything and then they'll go back and watch. And I'm like, I might have to do that because there are some times when I have like 20 takes and I'm like, and then it takes you forever to just watch them. And it's like, oh,
yeah.
the
And it
struggle is real.
like your first or second take is the best one, but you just
I know. I almost always use the first or second one and I'm like, why did I keep going? Why? Oh, it's too funny. Speaking of self-taping in classes, what has been your favorite class have you taken here?
Wow. Actually, I mean, I loved all of my acting classes that I've taken, but what a class that has been really nice and a savior, especially like this semester, is I have an in-person scene painting class, which I really recommend everyone take. It's so nice. It's once a week on Fridays, 8:30 a.m. For 3 hours, but it's just so relaxing and nice. And, you know, especially now, like with COVID and everything, with every theater ever being shut down, I'm starting to think about what are some other things theater-wise that I can do. And I took art classes all throughout high school and stuff, but it's really nice to learn how to do scene painting techniques because up close, you're like, oh, this looks like crap. Like this isn't gonna look good. But then you put it on the stage and then you put it under lights and you're like, wow, that actually isn't that bad. So it's a lot of fun. That's actually probably one of my favorite classes I've taken. It's just very nice, very wholesome. We're all quiet. We're all just painting our canvases. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I recommend take it. I mean, I'd love that it's in person. It's one of my only in-person classes that I've had this year. I really, really love the scene painting class.
That's awesome. One of my contracts, oh, RIP contracts.
RIP.
But one of my contracts was I had to paint the Love's Labor's Lost set. And oh my God, that was always like, I remember getting the contract and I was like, oh my God, I have to do 40 hours of painting. What is this? This is going to be the worst thing ever. And it was so much fun and so cool. And I was actually kind of the worst because most of my painting was done in like the second half. Like there were a lot of people who like were painting just like the base and all that, but I came in late and I had to do like all the detail work and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at painting. I don't know how this is gonna work. I was like shading some fake bricks, but then like we stepped out into the audience and I was like, oh my gosh.
I did that. You see that brick stage right? I did that. That's my.
I know. Yeah, my mom came down for dinner the one day, and I was like, "Come here, we have to go into the theater." And we walked into the theater, and I was like, "Look, you see this? I painted over there. I painted over there." It was so funny. Yeah. So, I love stage painting. It's so fun, and you're right. It's so therapeutic, just like brushing away. And since you're a senior in the acting concentration, you've probably taken all of your acting elective requirements. If for those of you who don't know, in the acting concentration, you have to take 4 acting electives, and it's always interesting. I like to always ask people which electives they've taken or which ones they recommend, because it's always helpful for like the undergrad, like, well, we're all undergrad. I mean, the lower classmen to know which electives they might be interested in.
I'm taking a dialects class right now. So we're doing like RP British, Cockney, New York. We're doing like Southern right now. And then we have to do a final project where I'm going to do an Australian accent. And I have to like present to the class and teach people how to do an Australian accent. And that's with Melanie. And she is just a doll, a dream to work with. So nice. So I love my dialects class, which is going to help too, knowing, because, you know, I know I struggle with accents. So having a teacher tell you like these are the sound changes, this is where it is in your mouth, in your throat, this is what your tongue's doing. And we listen to things and then we hear each other do our scenes or do our monologues. So definitely dialects class, but I also loved acting for TV and film with Marcus that we took. That was very insightful, and he has a lot of knowledge on that subject. So that was a really good class to take too. And it helped definitely for Zoom, because we were taking the class and it was all about acting for TV and film. And our Zoom cameras or our phones is basically like film instead of theater. So that definitely like helps prepare and like get to know the skills for how to transition versus just blindly coming in and not knowing how to do anything. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree with you. That class has helped me with like all of my recent auditions, because I've just been so much more in tune with like my stupid little iPad and focusing on that and not getting carried away and just being simple and to the point and to the camera. And oh, that class was so great. And who doesn't love Melanie? She's amazing. She's such a great professor.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna take dialects next year and I can't wait.
You should. It's awesome. We all have so much fun, and she makes it so like you want to turn your camera on and you want to go to class, which is helpful. Because it's so easy nowadays to just be like, I don't want to go to class. Show your computer.
I know. I'm like, let me go get coffee instead. Oh God.
Both of my roommates are in dialects right now. So on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, I wake up and one of them is sitting in the living room doing like the little New York accents. And every time I hear Melanie and her little kid, I'm just like,
Wholesome.
So in your time at Temple, Cece, you've been involved in lots of productions, lots of clubs. So I just wanted to know how you got involved with like such clubs as like Side Stage or Insomnia Theater and all that, and what your experiences are like.
Yeah, so freshman year, I guess it was like Temple Welcome Week. There was a bunch of different tables and I just went around and met some people, and I met the seniors that were on Side Stage, and they were so nice and so welcoming. And then I knew, well, because I'm an acting major, I knew I wanted to do something musical theater related because I have a heavy musical theater background. And that's when Broadway and Broad was just starting. So I was in like the first year it was ever a club, really fun. We would have like different themed cabarets, like Disney themed or villain themed. It would be like very cool doing things like that. And then Insomnia Theater, I actually knew some people from my high school that were in that, saying, oh, you should do this. It's such a great club, where you would go to auditions. All you had to do was tell a funny story. And then there would be a theme for the shows. Like I was in a Vine themed, remember Vine? R.I.P. Vine. We were in a Vine themed night where you audition, and then the writers stay up all night writing a script and choosing who they want to be in their show, write an original script, and then we meet at the bell tower at 8:00 in the morning, practice, rehearse, like get it under our belts, go home, get our costumes, go to the underground at Temple, run it once, and then after that, audience would come, and sometimes people would forget their lines, or you would just make stuff up, and the funnier the better, and you just had to really go for it, because I know I forgot my lines a couple of times because we learned them that day. So that was really fun. Yeah, I like all my clubs. I mean, I just knew that I feel like a lot of the freshmen, when they come into the Temple, you're not really like a theater major yet. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not really taking, like maybe you take an acting like one acting class, but you're taking all the rest of the electives you need to take, and taking IH and your science and math gen ed. And I just felt like I was missing like that theater community. So those clubs like definitely helped me get involved. And I love Temple Side Stage. It was always fun to meet people that way. Yeah, everyone needs to do Side Stage at least once. There's so many. I mean, not being a main stage is like, that's not everything. And you need really the people, the connections you make at Temple, like these are the people that are going to be in the industry. My book just fell. And I feel like people forget that, like, you never know, like down the line, like you may want to hire someone to be your dramaturg or to be your playwright that you worked in on a Side Stage show. You never know. what's going to happen.
So true. So true. Oh, we love side stage.
Yes.
Me and Maggie. We may or may not be on the board. I don't know.
For the audience.
But yes, that's something we're always telling students at our orientations and everything. It's like we always say it is a little daunting to get involved, especially if you're new here, or especially like if you've only been on Zoom school. Like I completely empathize with all of those freshmen and even sophomores who only have like a semester under their belt here. But we're still doing things. Lots of clubs are still trying and doing things over Zoom, and it's always so easy to get involved. Everyone's always just wanting more and more people, like, and everyone's always just so nice. Like that was my experience here with different organizations too. They're just like, yeah, come to a meeting, whatever. It's so fun.
I feel like especially now it's so easy to feel alone because, you know, you're just in your Zoom space, wherever it is. And there are people that have different situations always, and you're not seeing your friends, but like you can pop on Zoom. And then it's fun when you're walking around campus with a mask. When you're walking on campus and you run to someone like, even for like Chance the Snapper, I hadn't met like Rafi who plays Chance. I said in rehearsal, I said, I forgot that Rafi has legs. I forgot. I was like, oh, I forgot he's actually a real person because I've only seen him on Zoom from here up. You forget, like, I know we're all people. We're all just trying to like do our best. And
Oh my gosh.
so getting involved is definitely the best way. Like make the connections now so when things hopefully are normal again, you'll have friends and you won't feel totally like you're just plopped into like the Temple Theater's world, you know?
Exactly. That's perfect.
And it is just a small world. Like the Temple Theaters department is, I think, pretty vast, but it doesn't feel that way all the time. Like you walk through like Randall or whatever, and you see like 20 people you were rolling around on the ground with in class. Like, you know, like it's not, the theater department, I think, is a really, really great place to be at Temple, specifically just because it's so personal. You know?
That's why I wanted to go to Temple. I wanted to be a part of a big school, but a small community in a big school. That's why.
Exactly. That's awesome. So I hear that you work at a little place called Sesame Place. And I want to know all about it and all about what you do there. And then I also have some personal stories from Sesame Place that I'll chat about. But
oh my God. I used to work there. I've since moved on, but no, it was a lot of fun. So all my jobs in college, really, I always wanted to I wanted to work because I was like, I need money and I want to support myself. I need to eat. All my jobs, I wanted to have it be theater related versus like just doing, I mean, I've worked other like restaurant jobs and things like that. But so I'm from Bucks County and it's in Bucks County. So I had friends that had worked there before and I auditioned and I was a live actor. So I'd be a part of like the live shows where I would be acting alongside Cookie Monster and Big Bird and
yes, these big names, celebrity name dropping.
Weird celebrities.
And it was a lot of fun, but then sometimes I would be friends with Cookie and the Count and Bert and all those kinds of people. But it was really fun, and we usually had like some celebrities come there, like DJ Khaled, Blue Ivy came.
What?
DJ Khaled specifically? Like
his family came. He's like a picture.
He does have a young kid, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There it is. I was like, huh.
Blue Ivy came? Like Grammy winner? Blue Ivy?
Grammy winner, Blue Ivy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun until it's like 105 degrees outside and
yeah.
I had a couple pictures of me. So I would do like 6 shows a day, 2 parades, and then whatever else like they needed me to do.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
On the bottom of my feet. I remember the one show, the heat index was like 107 that day. And I'm performing outside in the sun with Big Bird. I can only imagine how Big Bird felt. I feel so bad for him. but I took a picture of me after every single show, and it was just sweatier and sweatier and makeup and pit stains. And I said, hey, this is live theater. It is what it is. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a really cool like college job to have and still perform and like do parades and do things like that. It was, yeah, I had a blast working there.
Awesome. Yeah. My mom actually used to work there when she was in college, and then my aunt worked there. She was Bert. And then my uncle also worked there. So we got the family ties to Sesame Place. Also, when I was little, the Ernie rubber ducky wave pool was my spot. Like we would go there and I'd spend all day there, and
It's still there. It's still there.
It's still there.
And the rubber
oh my gosh.
I know, because I went there when I was little too, so it was really like a full circle moment to like have pictures with these characters and then to like be them and to be able to like pay it forward with kids. It's a lot of fun. I love kids too, so it's a blast.
That's awesome. And then you have another job performing and working with children where you're an actual real life princess. So how does that job?
It's awesome. So I've always been obsessed with Disney, like always. And so I was in a community theater group in Philadelphia, like when I was younger, like third through my sophomore year of high school. And I had a connection where someone was starting a princess company. So it's like when I was 14, freshman year of high school. And the first thing I ever did was downtown in Philly at the Dave and Buster's, and I was Cinderella and my friend was Snow White, and we got to tell like all these kids with cancer that they were going to Disney World. And it was like that's like those are the moments that make it worth it. And it was like they were just so excited and like they really believed that you are these characters that they watch on their screen for how long. Yeah, so I've been doing that's my freshman year of high school, so I've been doing it for 8 years. I've been doing it all through college too. Just like this past year I did a event with Children's Hospital Philadelphia where I was Elsa and I was singing, but it was cool because they had like really nice cameras and they streamed it, so that was really cool. Yeah, and I volunteered a couple of times to like go and just like see the kids like in the hospital. It's really, and the parents they appreciate it so much. Yeah, but it's been hard with COVID because a lot of times we're doing makeovers and we're like touching the kids or like singing with the kids, and now it's like, can we sing because of COVID? I don't know like what's happening, but we're doing like a lot of things on Zoom. I did it's a princess thing last Saturday. Kids are still just as funny. Or even I have so many horror stories during princess parties too, because sometimes they can be brats, but then the other times it's like really wholesome. But they'll be like, you're not real. I'm like, well, right now, aren't I? They're like, oh my gosh, you're so right. She's real. She's real.
Oh my God. I think if I got clocked by an 8-year-old, I would just quit, you know? I'd just be like, all right, pack it in.
Be like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry.
Like, okay, sorry about it.
I'm not.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is not meant for me.
On my toes because it's improv. Like if a kid asks me, they're like, oh, if I'm Rapunzel, like, where's Pascal? I'm like, oh, he's back at the tower planning hide and go seek with Flynn right now. They're baking cupcakes. What are you doing? Like, you just have to like, but sometimes I go through like, I'll be Elsa, but then in my head, I feel like I'm Anna. And then I'm like, I misspeak because you have an identity crisis because you just did a party early in the day where you were Ariel and now you're Elsa. And you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Who am I? Who am I anymore? I don't know. I don't know.
That's amazing though. Oh my gosh, I love working with kids. I'm a preschool teaching assistant in the mornings, and they're so fun. They're always hilarious and so full of energy. I don't know where it comes from, but they just roll out of the bed and they're like, all right, I'm here. What are we doing? And I'm like, oh gosh, hi.
I know.
So fun.
Exhausted. Like when I take off that wig, I'm like, I just need to rest.
I know, because like, I mean, I've never like acted for children, so like, I don't know. That's probably energy through the roof for you. But even just like teaching them, like you have to be on 24/7 with them, and like that's just even taxing. Oh, but yeah. That's awesome that you've found ways to work while acting and performing, and you're even giving back to the community, which is amazing. So That's awesome. And then lastly, my last question for you before we do our fun little game. So we know that you have 2 super duper cool projects coming up on Friday. Both of them are coming on Friday, so this is amazing. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a Temple Theaters takeover on Friday because, Jason hit me up. So I'm going to be doing both.
Yes.
So last year, there was a class, how like sometimes on the listserv, there'll be like a random class. So I auditioned for like the grad student, like the MFA musical theater collaboration thing where they were making new musicals. And I was like, I've always been interested in new work and like seeing the process of how someone writes a song or how this song relates to the storyline and like how can we make this like the story flowing or, oh, we're going to cut that or add that or change it. So I was a part of Chance the Snapper. So it was Maggie. We were in like the first like little reading and I played the North Side of Chicago. I got to speak in a Chicago accent. Is it bad? Is it good? I don't know. I guess people so yes, I was part of that class and then I re-auditioned this year and I got a different part, Katie with a D, who is the head of the Parks District in Chicago. And it's called Chance the Snapper. And it is about the real life story. In 2019, there was an alligator that was invaded the Humboldt Park Lagoon and Chicago lost its mind. They threw a parade. They had like a voting contest to like name the alligator. There were names like Ruth Gator Ginsburg or Chance the Snapper was one of the names. Like Chance the Rapper landed in Chicago and found out that this alligator was named after him. And he was like, this is pretty sick. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so the show is it's really funny, but it's also like really wholesome at the same time. It's all about like friendship and the meaning of home and like what it means to be a good ally. And it's been a lot of fun and it's been really cool to see what it was when it just started, like as an idea versus what it is now. And it's definitely been a new challenge that I've never had to have before, originating a role. And like it's not even based on a particular like one person. So like having like to do that like background of like where am I coming from? Like who am I talking to? Like getting to create like this character though is like a bunch of fun. So yeah, so that's streaming April 9th through 23rd. Some things were on Zoom, but it's been a really weird process. Like we started rehearsals the first day of classes in January. We recorded the scenes mid-February. So I haven't seen what the scenes are since February. And it's hard because you're looking at your camera, you're trying to somewhat follow the script and look at everyone else and be like, okay, but also I don't want to look at myself because I don't want to be self-conscious about what I look like and having to do that. But then I just finished recording my songs last Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
All semester project. And then on top of that, I'm part of the Acting 5 showcase, which will be available on Friday. So that's been a lot of fun. So like that class, well, there's a lot of us, there's 30 of us, which is really, really cool. And our teachers, Amina and Amy, have been great with trying to help everyone where we go in breakout sessions and okay, bring in like a couple of scripts and we'll read through it. Oh, I think that person will really be good in that scene with that person. Try it, read it out. And then we like got the majority of the scenes that we wanted to do. And then some people recorded it like it was on Zoom, but I know my partner Blake and I edited our video where I recorded on my phone, she recorded on her phone, but then we had it set up on Zoom so we could somewhat still act with each other. And then I edited it all together. So the main showcase I want to say is like 45 minutes, but then people can also go on the page and click individual scenes if they want to watch individual scenes, or they can click on actors and watch like each actor's video. But then on top of like under all of our things, people have videos of them singing or like doing additional monologues, or just like doing whatever, and have people can download your headshot and resume, which is cool. But it's cool though, actually, like since it's online, it kind of gives people the opportunity to watch it later, watch it now, versus like having a showcase in Philly and you're like trying to get all these agents and like all these people to come to Philly or New York. this way I could share it with someone in California if I wanted to, or you could send it to your grandma or your aunt and be like, hey, like watch this at your leisure and enjoy. But it's really good. And I think everyone's like pretty proud. I think we did like the best work that we could do under these circumstances. But yeah, they really kicked ass. It was really, really good.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to see that. I'm so excited to see both of those because it sounds amazing. Like, oh my gosh, Miss Cece is working this semester.
Busy in class. She's booked. She's busy.
Period.
I'm trying.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that super fun stuff with us. And now we are on to our game. All right. So what this is it's about, we usually do like 12 to 15 this or that questions. Some of them are temple, some of them are just in general, some of them are theater, but you will have to pick this or that, and you will only have 1 minute to do it. So Miss Maggie is going to ask you the questions and I'll be here with the timer, and you can choose to like explain your reasoning, but just know that you only have a minute. So if you want to give a quick explanation, you can. Keep going. All right, I will get 1 minute on the clock here.
Why am I nervous?
You're gonna do great. You're gonna.
I don't know. We've only had a couple people beat it. I think Maggie was one of the ones who beat it. So
oh my gosh,
you may or may not get added to the list of the Hall of Fame for the Backstage Pass podcast. All righty. Are you ready?
Yes.
All righty. Here we go.
All right. Sack or food truck?
Food truck.
Richie's or Saxby's?
Richie's.
Ritter or Rehearsal Hall?
Rehearsal Hall.
Wawa or 7-Eleven?
Wawa.
Oh, okay. Charles or Paley?
Charles.
Good choice. Monologue or scene?
Scene.
Play or musical?
Play.
Tomlinson or Randall?
Randall.
Center City or Fishtown?
Center City.
J or H?
J. I was in J.
Aw. Film or theater?
Theater.
Drama or comedy?
Comedy.
Ooh, Bert or Ernie?
Bert.
Acting or singing?
Singing.
Oh my gosh, you beat it with 8 seconds to spare.
That was incredible.
I think that was our best one yet.
Perfect form. Absolutely perfect. Wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
I can't believe the greatness we've just witnessed today. That was amazing.
You went
off.
off. You went off.
Cece, you just won. Amazing.
I'd like to thank the Academy for this award.
Oh my gosh.
Put it on your resume.
Yes, put it. Awards. Awards.
Amazing. Under pressure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's a great skill. You know, you always gotta have it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, Cece and Maggie, for joining me today. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and look out for Cece and all of her amazing projects coming this Friday. Acting 5 Showcase and Chance the Snapper. Get it on your calendars.
Follow at Temple Theaters on Instagram for some updates and some links for when all this stuff launches.
Exactly. Follow at Temple Theaters. And as always, follow us at CPCA_advising for all updates on the Backstage Pass podcast and CPCA advising office stuff. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.